All right. All right, it says I'm live. Let's see. Okay, I'm just going to go for it now. I think we're okay. All right, we're going to do this, guys. So, welcome to my stream, ladies and gentlemen. Cyclone back. And I just want to see if it's on here. It's not. So, my channel doesn't even show the streams anymore because YouTube is trash. But then again, I'm not really going to be here much longer. So I butchered this stream playback from Battleborn. A couple days ago, I was playing a recording on the background by mistake. I wanted to just do a video talking about why Battleborn was like my favorite competitive game and how the game worked, while showing some really awesome matches for you all, and that's the goal of today's stream. So I'm going to do that. Of course, if you play Battleborn or have any other games that you like to play that are competitive, go ahead and leave those comments down below. I also want to say this at this time. My video uploading days are really slowing down at this point, and I don't think I'm going to be regularly uploading anything in the near future, guys. My life is changing, and I'm moving forward with my life, and a lot of things are coming up that don't really support gaming and video content creation and a lot of that stuff. So I think the trend is going to be that if you do get an upload from me, it's going to be very situational and very event-based. I don't care about the subscribers. If you don't care and you want to unsubscribe, go ahead. This is not for me to make money. I do this for fun. It's 100% fun and activity-based. And today I'm just going to go over a game that I really enjoyed while it was around. I was one of the more active players in the community for a couple years there. And just talk about why I really enjoyed this game. And I don't feel like there's really been a game that's come out that was as fun as this in terms of a competitive style game. So here, just as a preface, if you haven't seen this match, back in my Battleborn days, if you know about my Battleborn videos, you'll know that this is a match where we didn't score anything until the buzzer, basically. And so the two teams were very defensive in nature, and I was a very squishy offensive character. So I was like the out-of-place character in this matchup. And what you'll see is just how interesting it was to be in this game. So we're playing with some great players. Back in the day, we had Walrus, of course. He has some YouTube videos if you want to look up Sir Walrus Crow. Lag, Broken, and Assassin. Is that the other one, right? The Miko? Miko was the Assassin player. You'll see the scoreboard at some point. But we're playing here a 10-man match on the most popular map that was called Overgrowth. And what you'll notice here is we're setting up what we call a nest. We have Khalees has a support ability. Ernest has his eggs. Miko later on can start putting down a mushroom, which means that we have a lot of area support. But we don't have a lot of aggression on our team. I'm really the only aggressive character. Ernest can do area damage and some targeted damage, but in terms of like just pure get in there and, you know, poke them, I'm the only one. So I have to play very cautiously in this match. Now here we actually get a kill, and one of the few kills of this match. Umbra got carried away trying to get shards, and we took the opportunity. I do a nice phase gate here, bam. Get the kill before she can escape, and then I get the hell out of there. Back to my safe place. Now, the other team, we got Fox's Montana, some other players. They have a lot of ranged DPS, but also they have a Beatrix doing, some debuffing and damage amplification. And back then, if you had a Beatrix on your team, it normally meant they were going to try and capitalize on bursting, because Beatrix had a lot of potential to neutralize an enemy character. She wasn't one of the best characters in the game after her last updated, you know, version of herself, but she was still in certain comps and teams could be very useful if you had all the other aspects of your team on lockdown. Point I'm trying to make is we don't really have the range they have, but we do have a lot of area support capabilities and overall can hold our position pretty effectively. That's why this match doesn't really go anywhere. Got a Thrall. Thrall's good. They're not able to advance yet. You see this? Isaac is up there trying to snipe, and I want to get the sentry, the turret here, because I want to just provide a little bit of damage for our lane as we get into position. You see the Beatrix backing off there because of that. And then this is how the game worked. We had to hold line. Now in Battleborn, this nesting style was usually for a more defensive team. And we have Thrall, right? And if we had a more aggressive style of comp or a more, a little bit of a better setup style team, we could probably like go in there. If we had a Galt, for example, that Isaac probably would be a little more hesitant to be on that ledge. But we didn't have a pull. So we were stuck in our zone. We had to stay near our nest. And I, in particular, have to be very careful here. Because I don't want to get isolated. It was very scary to get isolated. So I'm just, it might look like I'm just running around in circles doing nothing, but I'm actually watching the map and where the enemies are and seeing when the minion wave was coming. And of course, shards. I needed to equip more survivable gear. Now, all the stuff I just said, that's all. In Battleborn, you'd be thinking about a lot of these things second by second. You'd be adjusting to the field. Like, I see that our team is starting to get, you know, flanked by ranged damage there, that Isaac and the Perch. And Ernest is trying to also get rid of them. You see how Ernest was shooting up there? So we knew that we had to keep them at bay. Fox is holding lane as Montana, but we have our nest. And they can't push out. Shane is a good setup character. My old main, she was awesome. And, you know, Shane and Aurochs. And, but their Shane can't really progress either. You see, Shane and Montana as well because of Dash. But those are like the initiators on their team, and for us it's me and Kelvin. And so Kelvin Broken is playing passively as well. He's just trying to stay alive. We don't want to lose our positioning. We're actually in the advantage right now. Even though we can't really push out of where we are, we're holding them back and slowing down the match. That's what we did here. What I liked about this game a lot is that your comp could really change the flow of the match. And if you fought another team and your comps kind of countered each other, like this one, there was some countering going on because they had range and they also had like some debuffing potential, whereas we just had like hard area support and turtling, which made me the odd person out on this comp. But you'll see where it comes into play and why I played the way I did. So level 2, you cared about your rank a lot in Battleborn. You cared a lot about getting the skills in your arsenal activated, of course. There were certain skills that characters had that could bump them up in usability, or depending on what type of comp you're going for, you might switch it up a little bit. Although I rarely switched up my favorite comps. My skill setups, I usually kept the same ones. Phoebe, I did a hybrid of offense and defensive options. It always worked well for me. You could go full offense or full defense with her, and I went down the middle, and there were certain skills I always picked. So again, I'm not leaving my zone, but look at them. Like they're basically just able to get minion. That's all they can do. And they're standing there and they can't go any further. They're trying to poke us with ledge pressure, and we're just kind of back and forth. You know, Walrus is getting a Thrall, and we're still fine. We're fine here. We're fine here. Now they get a Thrall, a big Thrall, and they push us out. So I'm like, get out of there, run away, hasta la vista. But because of Crow, we also got a thrall. And then here, I thought I was going to try maybe a little bit of a flank, get some damage. And I try to isolate Shane here and set up a kill and just do that while Kelvin comes in. It was a little bit of a gamble there, but I wanted to break up the momentum, definitely, without question. Before I continue, I just want to make absolutely certain I'm not butchering this. This has no volume. That's great. I'm glad this has no volume because last time it did, and I was screwing up everything. So we continue on. Okay, very good. And so again, we're now pushed back a little bit. And so again, because of our turtling and our area support, we were able to keep our line the way it was and not really be pushed back too much. I mean, they clearly have the advantage, but you can see they're not breaking past the corner. Only the minions are, because even the Shane is like, I can't go in there with Kelvin. Kelvin's gonna just like stun my ass, and I won't be able to move and get out of there. So, you know, and plus the shield pressure from Cleese, Shane really needs the shield from Aurochs. You don't want to lose that shield. So, and because of me, I was a lot of DPS threat. So this is where Battleborn could be really awesome. In a few games, if you had a really good Battleborn match, it was top of the line competitive gaming, in my opinion. And it was what a train wreck of a release. I'm not going to talk about that. We all know the story. It's just so what a shame. But so we're here, and I know that, you know, I can hold the back door. I don't want them to poke us too much from the side door there. So I'm trying to like keep my eye on it. And then I think eventually we agree that I should go get a thrall. And that's what I think we end up doing soon, if I'm not mistaken. But is it here? The next minute or two?
I could go for the thrall if you guys are comfortable with lane, or if you want me to stay here. Yep.
Yeah, I think, yep, I go here.
I'm going. Yep.
Yeah, I was concerned about the minion wave, so I think we agreed that, you know, it was time for me to get a thrall. Which makes sense, because back in this game, getting your objectives was super important. And I think a lot of gamers don't have the patience for working with AI mechanics. They just want to pew pew and get headshots. That's why, you know, Overwatch and all these other games do so well. But honestly, Battleborn's objective-based gameplay was so refreshing. It was so refreshing. So we get a fat bot out, and then we have the Bone Crusher as well. Now we get to push back. You see how that works? Now we're in the driver's seat. We get to push. Bone Crusher gets a nice throw there, but I'm not rushing into anything. Like, I'm not rushing. I'd rather be alive than not be alive. So I put up the turret for our team. Get a little more experience for myself. Again, we're back on control. We have lane control. We're pushing. We're aggressing. And this tug of war style continues in this match. It's absolutely amazing how much back and forth we do. But that's why I was trying to be cautious, because something like that could happen. Shane could pull me, and I'd be dead. So I had to keep my phase gate active and try not to end up surrounded by all their friends. So, you know, it might seem like a boring match on the surface, but the amount of mental... I remember playing this match, I can't believe 3 years ago. It's amazing. And 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And the pressure, the mental pressure, because we could not die. We had to stay alive. We had to coordinate. We had to work very much as a unit and not screw up. So every decision we made was a team decision, and it considered exactly what the moment was, how the enemies were doing with minions. Were they ledging or were they laning? Like, because again, we see here Montana, Fox tried to do, he did a dash in and
That's all they can really do.
had to get the right out of there. He didn't want to, risk anything. So both teams are facing this problem. They can't commit to too much offense. I'm gonna get the turret again, get some EXP. It's more important to me than even getting kills. I just want to level up to get my ultimate. So this game again, yeah, thanks on good. This game again is it was a travesty. How not to release a game, how not to market a game, and I'm glad we're just gonna make this video and enjoy some matches and then just reminiscing on the past. Good game. I wish there were other games more like this. I know it didn't sell well, but I think that has more to do with the marketing and the trashy approach that 2K and Gearbox took with this title. It was horrendous. I mean, first of all, it didn't launch with the best balance apparently, and there were a lot of bugs. Gearbox, but I think that's another problem. And they also made it completely live service over Amazon servers, which back in 2016, what the hell was like Amazon servers in 2016? I think that's what they were using. It's like, what? That's crazy.
We just don't have a poll.
That's just crazy. So, and the way they sold it, like if 2K was responsible for that, what a joke. A $60 game versus Overwatch's $40 on console? Like, are you nuts? And yours has unlocked characters. You have to unlock them after full price. That killed it on release. It was a disaster. Like, how? Like, 2K wanted to just make as much money at launch as possible and then throw this title in the freaking trash bin. That's what they did. They gave up on it from day one. How shitty is that? That's why I'll never forgive 2K for their shit. Their sports games are trash, but like we know their schemes. A lot of these companies are schemish, but they are just trash.
I can run over there, but
Grand Theft Auto, freaking bullshit, So, and there goes Ernest. Lag is like, I'm not getting pulled too much. So there Shane gets the ult off, but our minions get through. So again, we're good. We have complete lane control and pressure, and it's going well. But I'm still not going in there doing anything stupid. I'm actually going to join Broken because I want to make sure Broken is okay as well. I do not want Broken getting caught with something. Kelvin's vital to our comp. So I'd rather make sure Kelvin is okay than do any other sort of activity in this match. I want to make sure Kelvin's fine. So here we go. We're doing well. There's game defeater. We had a lot of great players in this match. Like a lot of good players. And I played these 10-mans occasionally, not very seldom. When I did, I had a good time. I was never really into the competitive scene. I just didn't really have the patience for an E-peen contest, if you know what I'm saying. Like, and also just the way that people toss blame around on these teams, the toxicity could be very, very severe. I'm not interested in toxicity at all. So I played these games on occasion, not very often. I have some wins in these and I have some losses, and it is what it is, So I get shards here because I wanted to, and at this point, they're going to start pushing a little bit back, I believe. Shane had the ult in mid-range. I get hit by it like an idiot. I don't know why I got hit by Shane's ultimate. I should know not how to get hit by that. They're pushing now, and we run.
we're backing up. Yep. Okay. I can.
I'm going to get a bot.
Right now.
I'm gonna get a bot because I want to let Cleese get that thrall, but I also don't want to leave lane because as a DPS pressure, I know that I'm stopping Shane from confidently coming into our lane. I don't want Shane breaking through line, and I don't want Montana following up. So if I'm there, I feel like I could be a threat that pushes them back and keeps our lane in our position. See Beatrix trying to get the side on us. And again, and then I have more for another. See this? So I get, another buildable, another bot. Get some EXP there as well. It's all about patience, guys. It's all about patience. You had to be patient in Battleborn. But I don't feel safe jumping in. Like in a lot of matches, I'd probably just jump in there and start stabbing them in the face. But I can't. Because I really just can't. So we're pushed back. We're cornered. They get the Beatrix ult again, which is just frustrating, doing additional area damage to all of us. It's just annoying. But we're not like panicking. You notice how we still like this zone is our zone, and they're not coming into our zone. They're scared of us. So we're holding them. We're holding them back effectively. And I'm just trying to like poke at them, get EXP, poke and EXP, more EXP, get my ultimate. That's the number one goal, is to get my ultimate at this point. I'm not here to mess around. I don't want to die on screen. I want to stay alive and hold this line as much as I possibly can.
Oh, lane.
Then I get pulled there. You see that? And I'm like, no.
I'm gonna go get a thrall.
And then I go get a thrall.
We have Cleese's late game condition.
Yeah, we just gotta play slow. We'll level up and.
So it's, again, we're at the last 9 minutes here. And so, again, we've been pushed back to our side, but we haven't really been breached yet, like hardcore breached. Like a Bone Crusher hasn't gotten through, started hitting the sentry. That's when you're in trouble, right? When the minions really clear your line, that's when you're in a lot of trouble in this game. But we never had that really happen, and the other team couldn't push through enough. I could have actually I could have hit the minions there. I get some damage off there. And see, I was waiting for my thrall. That's why I was like not jumping in until I got pulled in because of the thrall. I want the thrall to walk through line, and we have objective going through. They're not able to stop the thrall. See that? Thrall's all the way at midline now, which is very important. Now we see that the Beatrix got a nice ult there, which halted us from being aggressive. That was nice, So we had to be careful. But look at that score. Look at this scoreboard. I mean, this is nuts. With 7:58 remaining, to see a scoreboard in a legal match like this, no. That's very unusual. So again, see, I'm almost at ult level, and this has been the plan the whole time. Slow and steady, poke away, level up. I need that ultimate. I need level 5. And I'm just waiting for my blades here, and it's like, I'm just going to get that minion, and I didn't get the minion. We do have another thrall available. I just see that on the minimap, and did I get it? I did go get it. Yep, so I got a third thrall. Okay.
Alright, that's scary for me.
And so, yep. Yep, 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 yep.
Cyclone got another one. Yeah, I'm level fucking 7. He just got his ult. He's falling behind hard.
So here, I went with Pasada Soto, which I learned was like my preferred skill here. A lot of people do Blade Sweep, but guys, the defensive damage reduction here is so vital. It was so vital. I'm telling you. So I went with that. I went with that. And you'll see why it's vital a little bit later.
Yeah, when the knockup goes in, yeah.
Didn't waste my phase gate there. I didn't feel like it was worth it. I wasn't. What was I going to chase with that? Miko, I'm sorry, Miko got very aggressive there, and it was like running towards the enemy. Look at it. He's going. You know, knives out, Miko.
We can time all of our
You know, a good Miko player, they can do that. I mean, when you played randos and they did that, I would be very upset. Like, what are you doing, Miko? But a good Miko player, yeah, you're happy about that. You know. So again, we push back, and now we have the lane, and we have the offense and the aggression. It was a great game. I miss this game. I miss it. I just don't think though. I think it was an enigma and it failed, and it will never get one like this again. But those who played it, we knew how awesome it was when you really got into it. It was such good. The team strategies you could have in this game were just unbelievable. Like this comp with one different character on it would probably play differently than the way we were playing here with our comp. And if the team had a different structure as well, like maybe they had some, I don't know, like if they had a pounce in character like Atticus or something, we'd probably be in trouble. But it would change how we play. Like I'd probably see Kelvin doing a lot more stunning if the Atticus was involved or something like that. There's just ways this game could change up, even on the same map with the same goals and objectives in mind. The comps would change everything about the flow of the match.
What are we doing on stacks?
And this is like a case study of how the game could do that. This is unusual. You rarely would see matches like this where we never neither team scored at all, and then it was just the last push at the very end. But we're at this point we're very confident. I have ult and I'm not wasting it until I get to that sentry.
Okay, they're looking to push out.
I can go get. I can
I've barely probably one of the lowest Phoebe damage matches ever. like I don't even know if I saw my damage rating. I'll check the last scoreboard, but probably some of the lowest Phoebe damage you'll ever see from a match archive.
Shields went really, really, really. Okay.
Don't want to die. Do not want to die at this point. The Thrall came in, and I was like, gosh darn it. They got the Thrall through, and so he's going to destroy our minions, which sucks. So we're a little bit worried here, but, you know, I'm on the minions. I'm on the minions. We got to make sure these big boys are taken down. I want the experience.
Where's Isaac?
But they're pushing us back with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. We're both back at neutral. I mean, neither team can push. This would have been a game based on completely just score, not, kills and deaths. It would have been all the points. And then with the final 2 minutes, which I have on my moments highlight reel, I remember I'm like, we can do this. I have ult. We can do this. Kelvin, launches the offense, the stunning, the wall. There's ways that we can like get in there. And there's not much they can do. We want them to have to use their ultimates when we come in because we don't want them to push back and have any effective tools. That's why we were talking about timing. We have the advantage. We just can't blow this, right? We have to do this right. So we were here. We're like, okay, when do we do this? It was agreed that within a minute's time, 40 seconds or so, we should go in. You see the timer, 1 minute 35. So the clock is ticking, the pressure's building. What do we do? What do we do? And if you get shards, I was like, get any point in the scoreboard in case we don't get the century down, right? If we can win by score, we'll take it. But we do want to get in there and secure the win. That's huge. I don't know exactly what the score is right now on stats, so I don't know who wins that, right? So you can't. That's a last resort situation. You need to get in there. They bring a fat bot out with the minute 5 going. They think they can like push us back, right? Cleese gets the ult there. We know the cooldown. He has, another like 40 seconds or so on it. So anyway, here we go. And now we got to push in 47 seconds, 46, 45. All right. Broken goes in, does what Cleese has to do, or Kelvin has to do, right? He goes to the side. You see that? Isaac is distracted on Kelvin, and meanwhile, I get into the sentry, and that's why I knew Kelvin had to start it, because you had to rely on that aggression. My damage reduction is keeping me alive, because Montana cannot do enough damage to me in that position. Boom! 17 seconds left. 17 seconds left. They can't do anything. They can't. They have the thrall coming, but it's too little, too late. And I lose my voice here. I choked on spit. And it was hilarious. And it was fun. And it was a great old time. And they can't do anything about it. Amazing. We would have actually likely lost from stats as well. So we had to get that century down. So that was a great one. That was just amazing. An all-time classic. Let's do draft. This is the other match I wanted to show. A real captain's draft style game. So in this game, again, I didn't really get any kills, but I got a lot of assists. Hang on a second, guys. I have to take something. Let me just see if this is... Of course. Let's see. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're going to have, this is again going to be a match where there's kind of a counter to my character. They have a Galt and a Boulder, which is not good for me. Like having a Galt and Boulder as a Shane and Oryx player, that was always a bit of a problem because Boulder out-tanks you and Galt has a better hook than you and is a smaller hitbox than you. So Shane and Oryx could have some slight weaknesses in that regard. But you'll see here that I'm really just here to be supportive and to try to initiate follow-ups. Lakeland is also, as a tank, going to be very important for the front line as well. And Lakeland and I take some of the deaths for our team because we are the tanks. And our team also tried to get doubles a couple times when it was kind of iffy if they should have. Doubles are the thralls on the side that could be used to do some significant sentry damage. But the timing and use of them was, I don't know. Hey, this is Battleborn. You go with the flow. You go in the moment. You'll notice Galt. Watch this. Whoop. So, and I miss mine too. The point is, we're trying to feel each other out and be careful. I'm a big hitbox. That hook that hook could have gotten me and I might have been in trouble. But I made sure that Stealth Strike was still there, my getaway option, so I made sure of that. I just do that to return the favor, quite frankly. We're not getting that trap taken out. There we go. But see, the match is going to feel a lot like this for most of it, where, again, the teams are kind of countering each other. However, we do have the line advantage, and we do seem to be more aggressive for more of the match. So our comp, like Lakeland's just dancing around up there, like waiting for his moment. Like now he comes in, getting a wound on a minion. You know, it's just like, okay, cool, frontlining. But I'm not going too close. That boulder and the Galt scare me. They really do. And when I fetch, I back away because my fetch option has now been taken out, and I only have Stealth Strike at that point. Whereas if you have both fetch and Stealth Strike, you have your options to get out of danger, right? But if you get rid of one of your options, that's one less option you have. So you got to be defensive. And that's why I would do that a lot of times in high stakes matches, because they see here, like, Galt gets a hook on me, and I do that because I just want the overshield. Boulder is a menace. Boulder was so frustrating. I remember Boulder's annoyed the hell out of me. Probably my least favorite character to deal with, except for a really good Benedict could be just so bad. Like good Mike's, yeah, Mike is Mike, and Mike is, but good Benedict, God, yeah, good Benedicts were just But Boulder was up there as the most annoying character, one of them for sure. Especially as a Shane player. Like Shane on RX, first of all, I don't do a lot of damage as it is, and then Boulder doesn't take damage except for a few select skills from the character roster and certain setups, but Boulder doesn't take damage in real practice. So, always frustrating. Mike's cornering. See, Mike's would stand there in that corner a lot of the time on this map, and it gives you a better line of sight. That's why you can get more minion damage, for example. That's why you see the Mike doing that, just to help clarify. And the Galt hook there, bro, like this was my mind the whole time. Galt hook, Boulder stun, Galt hook, Boulder stun, Galt hook. That was my whole mind the entire match. Isaac ult, Galt hook, Boulder dash. Help me. Help me. Now here, a cool place coming up, probably one of the highlights of the match. It's on my favorite moments as well. Just a fun one all around. And the Alani, the way we read this play together as a team, it was wonderful. It was really good. Isaac will poke my shield away big time. So I can't go any further. I can't leave our minions. I got to stay here. I got to be surrounded as much as possible. And here, we're getting close to a play. I missed my hook. That was a terrible hook. Or a terrible fetch. That was awful. You see how you can get eaten up if you're the tank on this team, like in this game? I get a stealth strike there to slow down Boulder while Lakeland corners him. We did a nice job cornering Boulder there and getting him off the field. That was big. As they bring a Thrall out, I believe, right? Don't they bring a Thrall here? No. I'm thinking of doing a little bit of an ambush here, and I do one later. We try to corner the Miko, but it didn't really go anywhere. But again, you want to try and mess with their priorities. That was important when you were trying to get to the Sentry. You were trying to. It's kind of like distractions, right? You were trying to pull them off their lane, pull them off focus. Unfortunately, Boulder gets a dash there, and I just do that because I want to get the overshield up, get healed. I don't want to worry about my shield damage anymore and taking more health damage. Because, again, with Battleborn, the more damage you were taking, the more your healer had to focus on you, and the more likely you were to, take away from, for example, an offensive character who needs that healing after an assault. Like Benedict, if Benedict ever got pulled or Rendy ever got pulled, we lost a lot of our offensive capabilities. So I didn't want to take too much of our healers' time away from those characters. That's why I would be more often than not willing to just get the hell out of a situation versus being too aggressive. I would always be defensive at high level play. Always. Always. I missed that. That fetch sucked. Looking back at it, that was a terrible fetch. Oh, I remember. But again, I'm just trying to play it safe, play the line, play setup. I guess I'll talk here as well, like why I like this game more than Overwatch. After I have played Overwatch and then I played Battleborn, I was a convert. Overwatch was way too predicted on your comp, like as the end-all be-all solution, and there was really only one way to play each character, which got boring after a while. Like my favorite Overwatch character, at least from the original roster, was Lucio, because Lucio could be used like to change the flow of your team's play. Like that was exciting and fun, and you could really shake it up. But most characters, you played one way and that was it. And like if you had the right comp, you won. If you didn't have the right comp, you lost. If you didn't counterpick the one character, so it felt more like you were countering the team versus mastering the character itself in a way. And that's why I didn't love Overwatch. But Battleborn, there was so much more unique identity to how you played a character and how you chose to play it in a comp. Like, yeah, holding Boomerang, a lot of Shanes would do this in this scenario. You get EXP, you get points. But, like, going to the sides and using stealth or a fetch, you could pull enemies away from each other. So it was fun. Now I'm getting poked here, and I can't, like, I'm like, okay, I gotta back up. They're starting to push out of their hole a little bit. So we do back up a smidge. I'm waiting for the hook. I'm waiting for the hook. I'm waiting for it. I'm like, oh, where's the hook? 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 I'm on 7-second cooldown. That was all. You were always thinking about stuff like that. Where's the hook coming? When's go? There's the hook, and I get hooked. But watch this. Boom! Into a bubble. Stealth strike. Gone. Wow, that play to this day was one of my all-time favorites. Oh, that play was so much fun. Is it on max quality? Yeah, the render quality from the PS4 was trash. Here comes the Thrall, and I put up the turret because I want to try and poke away anyone who gets in line. Because if you get rid of the shit, that was terrible too. I had some terrible fetches in this match. Yeah. Boulder missed. It was either Boulder missed or Boulder hit my hand and Gearbox didn't register the hitbox. Because Gearbox's hitboxes were notorious for being shoddy. And I think they still are for some of the Borderlands games. But yeah. Now here, for example, if I had Fetch, I may have done what we call a juke, but I was scared of that play right there. That's why I didn't go in for any reason. You know, like sometimes in a less competitive game, I would go in that moment and try to stealth up some people, slow them down. And here comes Galt, here comes Galt. I'm scared of Galt and Boulder. Stupid Boulder. Everyone focus on Thrall. Everyone focus on Thrall. Well, they already have it, Kelly. Sorry, I'm looking at an update from something. I got to get to that after this recording. Just focus on the minions. While my team does sentry damage. We've done some sentry damage. We've pushed through. And it's steady. Slow and steady wins this race. That's how we have to look at it. Both matches, again, you might be bored, but you think about... Now here is where things start to get a little... No, it's not until we take the first... Yeah. I was waiting for it. I was like, where is that hook? Where is it? And then I come in, and now I'm aggressive. Now I have the bot, and I can stun the Galt and run away and get out of there. And my initiation got the kill. So that was huge. Like, those were the plays that made Battleborn fun. When you got those, initiations, when you got those chains to happen, when your teammates followed up and got the kills, it was always fun when that happened. That was the highlights. That was the best. Now we have priority, and we're good. Then there's a couple plays, and then I'll fast forward to near the end. I think, so I wanted to protect Galley there. Lakeland, I wanted Lakeland to be protected. So I did that to stun Lakeland, or stun the Isaac. Again, we're good. We have lane. We're pushing through. And this is kind of how it goes. Now, we got doubles here, which was great. But then there were other times where I just feel like we became a little bit too reliant on doubles. Like they were trying to get a quick win or something, but it left me vulnerable in lane because I was trying to hold down lane. So I took some deaths because the team decided to go get the doubles, and you know what I mean? We win. Spoiler alert. I mean, but the point is, we do get pushed back at one point. Like if we had our bent, like they're back there getting the Bone Crusher, but we had lane. We could have been, the Benedict could have been shooting lane up right now without letting them get any sort of, like Boulder comes in, we need Benedict to help with that. So a part of me is like, I get it. I don't know if I would have personally gotten minion in that example, but it kind of ended up that way. Benedict got minion a lot. Here's a cool play. And bam. Cool play. So, I mean, I'm going to fast forward a bit. Like, it kind of goes like this for a while. And see here, what happens is, I'll show you what happens. So, again, we have control here, right? We have control. Benedict, everyone's here. We're holding where we are, and we're doing okay. And they're not really advancing at all either. So, then look what happens. See the two of them break off here? And then, now we're down to 3 people in lane. For what reason, though? Because we had the advantage. Now they're pushing out. And so, I'm like, okay, they're over there now? Like, they think we're going to get doubles, and we have the advantage? I just didn't feel it. And then you'll see what happens, because we're down to 3 people. I got to do what I can to hold line as much as possible. I'm not about to give up line because we're trying to get some double thralls? No. Try to slow them down. I missed my freaking fetch there, and that's going to get me into a lot of trouble. But then I'm dead here because they abandoned us on lane, and he's all the way back at our thrall. I just didn't know, like, yeah, hell yeah, like getting 3-0 as Benedict, that's great, and he's helping with, but I don't know if we had to give up lane that eagerly. Do you see what I'm saying? And now he's going back to spawn, which I find even more like, what are you doing? Go to the health station, bro. Hell yeah, I was a good player, but like, that moment felt so, like, we just gave up lane for no reason. Yeah, you want to get more kills or something, but it gave up lane. which killed me and Lakeland. So it was that, you know, and again, like I make mistakes like that. Now look where they are. They've pushed all the way back to midfield, mid map. They're all the way back to mid map now because we had to go get, you know, buildables. Like that was probably not the best time to do that. We're kind of lucky though that we were able to push back again. But I don't know if I would agree with that play personally. Who gives a shit? The game's dead. You know? We're back. Now see, we're back in control. It's just more like what if I died, Lakeland died, and Arendi died? Would Benedict really be able to hold the whole field by himself with a thrall? I just don't think so. Now I did that to get rid of the pressure. I wanted them to go back to their side. It was to break up the aggression a little bit more. That's why I popped that ult there. And it happens again. So again, we're on lane, and like we're holding it fine. Boulder's poking us, but we're fine. Like we're not getting pushed back. And they leave again. You see that? They're leaving to go get doubles. And meanwhile, we're here in the lane. And I'm trying to keep our minions alive and keep the thing going and slowing them down. So I get killed here as well. Now, and he pops his ult and he wastes it on me. I'll take that. I'll be the martyr for that, to waste ult on one player. That's fine. But that's just why that happens. They get the thralls. And then I do this here. They've already pushed us all the way back. Because of the double thrall play, they came all the way back to our side. So again, I don't agree with how that was handled. I think they were a little too eager to summon minions. Minions are helpful, but normally when you are clearly like open, lane is open, or you're really on the defensive. Not when you're on the aggression and then you leave lane. So I do that to clear up lane, help maybe try and get a kill here. And a thrall, like, Galt gets away here. I was like, Arendi ults, I ult, and Galt is like, oh my gosh, man. Because Boulder came in, we were able to get rid of Boulder, which is good, but gosh, was that frustrating. Get rid of the Shepherd, always get rid of Shepherd. And then I'll go to the end here. I think that's fine. So again, we do push them back. Get an accelerator going. You know, we're back in control, mostly. And again, we got Boulder here. I'm going to get the stun on Boulder. Boom. And I had a 10-player assist streak. Oop. Alt pop. So now we have doubles in here, and we can be ultra aggressive. Here comes a nice play. Back on Isaac. I stun Isaac. Arendi ults. And Isaac is down. And the game is ours. So that's... We get the game. And, yeah. That's it. So you see, I took the losses here statistically, but our team, you know, they were very eager to get the thralls. And I think, yes, we had control, which is great, but I just don't know if it was necessary. And reviewing this, you know, games always were intense and crazy and things could happen. But that's it, guys. I wanted to do that because I was reminiscing about Battleborn, and it was a good time, good game, but that's it. And as I said before, my time with making videos on this channel is probably ending in terms of being regular. You know, I might upload stuff in the future, but this was one of my favorite games, and I thought I would leave it here on this game, close it for good, like the chapter of this game. Uh, it was a great time, and it was fun to do commentaries. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And whenever I upload again, I will. You know, something might come out in the future. I'll see you guys around.